Why, hello everyone, welcome back to PlayFrame and Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode and to the Doman Enclave. Look at all the pretty paper. Yes, we are back because today we are going to continue our work on the Doman Enclave reconstruction effort. There's much still to do. And I've already put in some money here, so let's go ahead and see what comes next. This is... Ooh. Well, well. Look at the fancy new booth. Well, she likes it, she likes it. A surprise to commemorate the completion of the 10,000 stalls in the yard for the girl who made it possible. I do not mean to sound ungrateful, but to use our valuable resources to decorate my office is long overdue, many would agree. Or were you planning to rebuild the whole of Doma to save the Shazenkai? Consider, too, your position as the representatives of our reconstruction efforts. It would not do to receive potential patrons in a ramshackle hovel. I'm sure even Derman would eventually begin to question your judgment. Still, isn't this a little... I don't know... We're not finished either. Over here, girl. I've got another surprise for you. You and the rest of the Shazenkai. Well, go on. Now these are garments befitting the face of the Shazenkai. Hey, look at you. Are you sure it isn't a bit extravagant? Well, that's the point, isn't it? If you're to engage the rich and influential, you'll need to do so on their terms. Show them that Doma's no poor backwater, that they'd be wise to invest in our future. Also, several merchants mentioned to me that you lot were impossible to pick out of a crowd, so there are practical considerations too. They can't well negotiate with you if they can't even find you, after all. She makes a good point. Fair points, all. Very well. If I must serve in a more public capacity for the sake of Doma, then I shall. Lord Hien has placed his trust in us to manage this monumental task, to see our people's hopes and dreams realized. We shall not fail him. I shudder to think where we would be without your assistance, Derman. Your constant support has been invaluable. But our grand design for the revitalization of the Enclave is far from finished. When we've finalized our plans for the next step, I pray we can look to you once more. The Doma in our memories and in our hearts will soon be ours again. Until that blessed day, let's never give up hope. Yeah. I hope you've got more plans, like, now, though, because, we just started a new episode. I'm not waiting another week. So, let's see the plans, is what I'm saying. Derman, a pleasure to see you as always. I am, however, concerned that we are keeping you from more urgent matters. Are there not others in greater need of your assistance? I mean, kind of always, but in order to proceed with the reconstruction of the Enclave, you must first complete the main scenario. Oh, really? That's not a thing I realized. Huh. Interesting. I didn't realize you had to keep on progressing the Stormblood scenario quests in order to be allowed to keep these going. Huh. Well, isn't that inconvenient? The absolute nerve, thwarting my meticulously planned recording schedule. Mean. Kozakura, how could you do this to me? Derman, just the person with whom I was hoping to speak. There have been some interesting developments in our plans for the Enclave. The Shazenkai and the residents have made a combined effort to clear away a vast amount of debris, opening up more land for us to develop. We are considering a number of different projects, such as allocating land for farming, buildings for new enterprises, and so forth. Naturally, our need for resources has never been greater. I do not speak only of material costs, but also of the labor required. In order to adequately explain our next undertaking, I must... Sorry to interrupt, but perhaps it would be best coming from me. We meet again, Warrior of Light. You may not remember me, but I was there the day you and Lady Yugiri freed me and my countrymen from Castrum Fluminis. I owe my freedom to you. Though I must admit, I was in something of a panicked state when we first met. So much so that I neglected to thank you, or give my name. I am Ihase. The Shazenkai has agreed to assist us with one of the newly opened patches of land. Like the rest of Yanxia, the Enclave is blessed with a constant supply of clean water, ideally suited to rice farming. I was practically raised in a paddy field, and aim to put my experience to good use. You see, now that a lot of the basic living quarters and such are in a decent state, a few of us would like to turn our attention to cultivating crops, rice in particular. It is no exaggeration to say that it is our lifeblood. That is why I asked for permission to use the land. If you're not otherwise engaged, it would be a great honor to show you around. It is to the northwest, not far from here. I'd love to. Give me the tour. I, for one, am in total agreement with Ihase. Prosperous harvests would be an enormous boon as we strive towards self-sufficiency. Any surplus produced would fetch a high price beyond our borders, and it would go a long way to the revival of the Enclave. Ihase and the other farmers have already started plotting out their, plots. It would mean the world to them if you paid a visit. I am on my way! Let's see, I believe they are this general direction. Kind of further up in this... Yeah, here we go. Ah! Now this is a lovely spot. Seems perfect. To me, a non-farmer, who trusts the word of farmers. I never thought that one day the Warrior of Light would come to see my paddy fields, and yet here you are. So, may I ask what you think of the place? I mean, it's not like a rice field yet, but seems like as good a location as any. Yes, I feel it has endless possibilities. Although it may not look like much now, once we've made a few improvements, we should soon see results. Once we've gotten rid of debris, we found the earth below fairly easy to till. I've also heard that before houses were built on this land, it was actually used for growing rice. It would give me a huge sense of satisfaction if the area were to come full circle and produce crops once more. The area is well suited to farming. Water naturally drains out of the fields and into the river without much intervention on our part. However, we must occasionally bring in some fresh soil to replenish the nutrients. Of course, even earth of the highest quality will be of little value till we can get more water flowing into the fields. Relying purely on the streams flowing down from the mountains will lead to a poor yield. We could dig a channel leading off from the one river to bring in some of its mineral-rich silt. Yes, that should work. Oh, I do apologize. No doubt you have better things to do than listen to my ruminations on paddy field drainage. My workers and I do not lack for motivation, only for funding and materials. With your support, the people of the Enclave will soon be feasting on delicious, homegrown rice. Leave the funds to me. A new chapter has begun for the Reconstruction effort. Your contributions to the Shazenkai will help the Doman Enclave continue to grow. Fantastic. When it comes to growing rice, creating the perfect conditions is something of a fine art. Well, I'll leave you to your work then. I'ma head back to that shiny new Shazenkai booth. Well, Kozakura, you do definitely look much more official. with your nicer booth and uniform and all that. I hope this morning finds you well, Doman. If you have any questions regarding the reconstruction effort, I'd be happy to answer them. Nothing new, really. So, let us make our donation, which is, hey, finally got the amount dialed in, at least until they bump the rate up again. I'll enjoy this moment of triumph while I have it. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Doman, I thank you for your support. Ihase and the other farmers are working hard to develop the reclaimed land. I hear their new tools have made a world of difference. While we are able to produce some of the necessary equipment here, our craftsmen are already working at maximum capacity. In many cases, it's quicker to simply purchase what we require. Your contributions helped us secure these tools for Ihase and the others. If you're curious to know how their work is proceeding, why not pay them a visit? I would love to. Let's go check on them now. So hey, things are looking a little tidier. Got all the debris and the clutter cleared out. Ah, come to see how we're getting on. The new tools have helped us a great deal. We're very grateful. There is still a lot of work to be done before we can start planting the rice. That reminds me, I placed an order with Kozakura, and the delivery is due any day now. Which one of you is Ihase? Ah, gentlemen. That'd be me, and you must be here to deliver 2 sturdy-looking Zos, as requested. Glad are we to trade for Doman goods, so coveted are they by our brothers. But may we ask why you required 2 live Zos? 'Twould be simpler to bring you horns or pelts or meat. Or do you prefer to slaughter them yourselves? Come before fend. We wish to use them as beasts of burden, to help plow our fields. Well-tilled soil is essential in the cultivation of crops. Just the thought of eating the first rice ball from our own harvest makes my mouth water. Rice balls? We remember these fondly. So vivid is the memory, I can almost taste it. Mitsuba first introduced us to their heavenly goodness. I shall never forget the flavor. To think that Zos from the steppe can assist in producing rice makes me very proud. Brother, if we were to stay and help, maybe they will share some of the harvest with us. Is this some jest? We Butaga live only for battle, not for plowing fields and scattering seeds. And what of our aim to secure the Firewalker? We owe our lives not only to Mitsuba, but to the whole Enclave. They're the ones who nursed us back to health when we were close to death. Surely we should repay this debt before attempting to seize Heian. If we work these fields, we can observe his comings and goings and find the right moment. Not you too. So that makes it 2 against 1. Loath as I am to admit it, the idea is not entirely without merit. Ihase, will you allow us to work alongside you? The only payment we ask is a few bales of rice. We need all the help we can get, and you seem to have a knack for steering Zos in the right direction, which will no doubt prove useful. But I must warn you, the process takes several moons. You'll get your share of the harvest once we're done, though. Then we have an agreement. If it leads to the capture of Heian, there's no hardship we would not bear. Come to think of it, Ihase, perhaps when this is finished, you should return to the steppe with us. A man of your stature and obvious strength could make a name for himself. You want me to join the Butaga? I cannot imagine my wife and children would be very happy about that. Besides, I'm much more at home in a paddy field than on a battlefield. Tough luck, fellas. Maybe next time. Work in the Enclave domain is proceeding apace. The new workers and beasts of burden will increase productivity and lighten the load for Ihase and his farmers. As you continue to contribute to the Shazenkai and the Reconstruction effort, in what other ways might the Doman Enclave grow and change? So many. Maybe even some more. Today. I've high hopes for those Butaga. By all accounts, the steppe is an unforgiving place, and a lifetime there should have prepared them for long days tilling the soil here. They'll be expected to pull their weight, same as everyone else. I'm sure they'll do great. I'm heading back to Kozakura. Happy farming! Any other updates to report, or are we done for the day? Ah, more. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Doman, I thank you for your support. I'm pleased to inform you we've made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. Hey, you have. Planting has begun. Owing to your many contributions, the Enclave domain has seen further development. Looking good, too. Any more, or are we done? Yep, looks like we are done for the day. So be it. Anyway, where was I? Whew, getting in pretty late this week. Hopefully they're still accepting donations. Yes. Fantastic. All right. Have some coins. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Doman, I thank you for your support. I'm pleased to inform you that we've made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. Show me. Ooh, that is coming along. Love the scarecrows. Owing to your many contributions, the Enclave domain has seen further development. Boy, it sure has. What else? I hope this evening finds you well, Doman. If you have any questions regarding the reconstruction... Oh, right, I'm supposed to keep interacting with it. No, that's not what I meant, but yes, good, fine, yes, good, not what I meant, and here we go, okay. It's been a week, I forget. Once again, allow me to thank you for your continued contributions. Ihase tells me that everything we need for rice production is now ready. The crops are growing remarkably well. If all goes according to plan, we can expect a decent harvest in a few moons. Are you interested to see the progress Ihase's made with the paddy fields? Perhaps you should stop for a chat with him. I will, assuming he's still up. It's my understanding that farmers tend to have to go to bed pretty early. Early to bed, early to rise, all that stuff. Then again, I don't know how rice farming works, so maybe that's different. Hey! Ihanashi. Didn't see you over here earlier. Thanks to you, I was able to return to Doma to live with my father. I still feel enormously grateful for everything the Confederacy did for me. In fact, I'm able to put the skills to good use, and I continue to work as a shipwright. Oh, good. Glad everyone's settling in back home, in the new home. The new old home. You know what I mean. But here's the place. Looking very good. Ah, you are up. Report. We now have all the essentials for rice production. There's even a water wheel for milling once it's been harvested. Most of the more difficult tasks have been taken care of, so all we need to do now is keep the fields free of weeds and scatter fresh soil from time to time. Some of the children came to help, and were here until a few moments ago. Boy, they're up late. I wonder where they've run off to. Hey, kids! Hey everyone, Mitsuba brought food. Come on, let's eat. We're all just staying up late tonight, huh? It was meant to be a surprise for you, but nothing gets past these younglings. Thanks to them, my grand entrance is ruined, but I may as well say my piece. Can I interest any of you hard-working farmers in a meat-filled rice ball? As for you, Doman, you may not be a farmer, but I'd say you deserve one too. I know you've invested an awful lot into making a success of this place. I try. Say, what brings you all the way here, Doman? Have you come to visit us? Basically. You're helping with the Enclave? Wow, you're the best! Since we got back here, the Doman Adventurers Guild has been busier than ever. There are all sorts of things to take care of. We'll need new members just to keep up. It looks like you've got some catching up to do. Why not talk about it over some good old-fashioned Doman grub? But you're all covered in muck, so don't forget to wash your hands first. Last one cleans a rotten egg. Good evening to you all.
Kozakura, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Actually, I was hoping to speak with Derman concerning the reconstruction effort. The Shazenkai has reached a decision on our next project. We wish to rebuild Rissai-juku, a school for local children or anyone with a mind to learn. I would like you all to meet the tutor. You mean Miss Minazuki will be the teacher? That's great news. Guess what? We went to Revenant's Toll and had all kinds of adventures. You mean to say that you're already acquainted? Yes, her husband was our master of lessons. They used to teach us when we lived here before. When we were taking breaks from training, she would give us snacks and tell us old stories. Oh, what a wonderful coincidence. I'm happy to see you reunited at long last. I prayed that you would return safely. Words cannot express how worried we were after you and your families fled to seek refuge in Eorzea, but those dark days are behind us now. Kozakura tells me you've formed the Doman Adventurers Guild and performed all manner of good deeds during your time in Mordona. In fact, I hear you've been helping people here in the Enclave, too. Well, if you can find time between guild assignments, perhaps we could resume your lessons. Yes, we'd love to. The school can be our new headquarters. Come on, let's take a look. You must be the hero whose name is on everyone's lips. It's an honor to finally meet you. As you heard, the master of lessons to whom the children referred was indeed my husband. After his death during Lord Kyan's rebellion, the Garleans kept a close eye on me, fearing my teachings might spark an uprising. Now, with the Empire gone and our countrymen repatriated, I hope we can reclaim some semblance of normality. An old woman I may be, but I'm not blind to the events of the outside world. I've heard the tales of your bravery. Were it not for you and your friends, Doma would still be under Imperial rule and this place in ruins. Instead, it's now a thriving community, and I'm sure the best is yet to come. That's the plan. Hey! The domain is complete! At the completion of the Enclave domain, the Shazenkai Initiate has an ambitious plan to revive an important place of learning, Rissai-juku, a school for those with a thirst for knowledge. Fantastic. Well, good luck to you. Patience is an essential part of cultivating rice. Even I can barely wait until the next harvest, though. I'll leave you to it. I've got a school to start building, apparently, or to watch start building, to pay for start build, you know what I mean. So, Kozakura, what's next? Anything left for the week? Oh, there is. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Derman, I thank you for your support. Although construction of the school is proceeding quicker than expected, it's still little more than a place for students to gather. Nonetheless, Minazuki has already started tutoring there. The sheer enthusiasm on the faces of the children is a sight to behold. I'm sure that Minazuki will not mind if you call in to observe one of the lessons. Well, this was a really weird week to show up at 2 in the morning. Odd time for school, but hey. Education waits for no one, I guess. How's it going, Hien? You've heard naught from our intrepid Alphino. He travels under my protection as an emissary of Doma, and I would share any news of his journey. In the meantime, you might enjoy seeing what the act of rescuing our conscripts has done for the Enclave's restoration efforts. Their homecoming's been an invigorating wind, and we return to our labors with renewed purpose. Glad to hear it. Good seeing you. Where's the... I thought that... Yeah, okay. The school building is off this way. I think I've already attuned to this one, but just in case... Nope, hadn't yet. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. Now. Oh, Ozan. Hello. Those children certainly kept me on my toes. Not that they mean to cause mischief, but they're so adventurous I cannot help but worry. I'll keep an eye on them, or rather, I guess their teacher will now. Now that's a good-looking building. I like it. I heard you've been making lots of donations. That's what Miss Minazuki says, anyway. I sure have, boy. Every week, on the hour. History is interesting, but I like doing sums. There's always a right answer. Very unlike history in that respect. Oh, this is a welcome surprise. So what do you think of our new school? With a roof and sturdy walls, we can study without worrying about the weather. On the other hand, the bookshelves are looking rather empty. I have my own copies of most of the texts, but listening to me reading them aloud does nothing for the children's literacy. Luckily, for today's lesson on Rissai, we have all the books we need. Are you familiar with this pivotal figure? I am not. Really? Then why don't you join our lesson? Never pass up an opportunity to learn. That's what Miss Minazuki always says. Would you like to take a seat? Darn right I would. Oh, I get my own desk. Rissai was a renowned samurai who once served Doma. Not only was he a loyal and gifted swordsman, he was also a master tactician and well-versed in the use of firearms. Above all else, however, he was a learned man and spent much of his time reading. When his days as his lord's vassal came to an end, he established a school that became known as Rissai-juku. Unlike most others at the time, it was not only for the children of samurai or those of high standing, but for everyone. Rich or poor, all were accepted as students. The school held a special place in our community and remained open after his death, with some of his former pupils becoming tutors themselves. So that's where our school got its name. Ah, Miss Minazuki was one of his students. Yes, I was. I spent many happy years at Rissai-juku, first as a pupil and later as a teacher. But all that came to an end when the Garleans invaded. They closed the school and sought to undo all the good it had done. Even so, some of the older generation, such as myself, continued to teach Doman values in secret. The lessons we used to have together were one such example. But now that the Empire's gone, we can teach as we please, without fear of reprisal. That is why I decided to reopen Rissai-juku. The decades of oppression could not crush the Doman spirit. Much like the Shazenso, we survive even under the harshest conditions. When they cut us down, we sprout anew, because our roots are strong. We'll never give in to those dogs. Doma forever! My sentiments exactly. Now, who would like to read the next chapter to the class? Me! One of them can do it, I can't read. Lessons are being held at Rissai-juku, and the students are eager to learn more of Doma's history and traditions. As you continue to contribute to the Shazenkai and the Reconstruction effort, in what other ways might the Doman Enclave grow and change? Furthermore, as a result of the Enclave's expansion, the rate of gratuities paid for donations has increased, as well as the weekly budget. Oh, that's nice. Speed progress along a little bit. It brings me great joy to have such attentive pupils. Were it not for your donations, we would have nowhere to study. May the kami bless you. Well, don't let me keep interrupting the lesson. Kids, study hard. Alrighty. Anything else this week? Oh, I guess since the limit's been raised, I can technically give a little bit more? How much more exactly? Oh, I think like 5,000 is the new limit. Okay, so let's not do that much, perhaps. Let's go with... hang on. There we go. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Derman, I thank you for your support. Your contributions have led to truly remarkable improvements at Rissai-juku. Of course, seeing is believing, as the saying goes. Minazuki would like nothing more than to show you the improvements to the school. Well, let me get out there then. And the sun's even starting to come out. This is feeling like a much more appropriate time for school. Maybe a little early. Especially considering how late the kids were up with lessons. Anyway. Oh, goodness. There are more of you. Where did you all come from? Ah, the savior of Rissai-juku. I expect you've come to see what we have done with the school. The building is a lot more grand, as you can plainly see. We have a lot more books to use in our lessons. I was also delighted to find that the children had taken it upon themselves to gather everything they need to practice calligraphy. Ooh. Tsurunuki gave us some soot to make ink. I had to wash my hands about 3 times to get them clean again, but it was lots of fun. We can show you how it's done if you like. We got some paper from Araragi too, and best of all, he gave it to us for free. He said it had fallen just short of perfection or something. Good enough for us to practice with, though. He gave me a pinwheel as well. What? Why didn't I get one? Children, focus. They've always been energetic, but they've become so outgoing and independent during their time in Mordona. They've been through so much at such a young age, which often forces children to grow up quickly. But it's more than that, I feel. I think that all that hardship has taught them to appreciate the good times. Perhaps they've come to truly understand the joy that freedom can bring. It is a delight to see the smiles on their faces. Many others around the Enclave feel the same way. It fills us with hope for better days to come. Actually, I thought this might be a good time to mention that the children have been planning something special for the school. They've been trying to keep it a secret from me, so I shall have to remember to act surprised when it's finally unveiled. If my guess is correct, I have a feeling you'll want to see it too. Ooh, a surprise. Rissai-juku has undergone a remarkable transformation, and its students are more motivated than ever. As you continue to contribute to the Shazenkai and the Reconstruction effort, in what other ways, etc. Well, very good. The students not only help around the school, but have been running various errands about the Enclave, too. They're as determined as anyone to get Doma back on its feet. And boy, it really seems like it's well on its way now. It's just so heartwarming seeing this place that we spent so long helping and mostly just witnessing a lot of pain and hardship in, starting to kind of come together and seeing a bit of a vision of the future of what Doma looks like when it's able to be back up and running as it should have been. It's great. And that's it for this week. Very well. Back to whatever else it was I was doing. I gotta stop hanging out at the Forgotten Night. If I have to listen to one more astrologian go on a tirade about the moon rabbits, I'm going to lose my mind. Anyway, Kozakura, I am here. Hello. Good to see you. Again. That's probably like the 8th time I've clicked on you this episode. It's really hard to tell after a while. For me. Anyway, how many? Close. Maybe 3's gonna be too much. 1. Oh, right, the limit got bumped up. It's up to like 25 now. So, overshot. No, wait. Is that on the money or did we overshoot? No, that's on the money. Okay. Huzzah. Exceed, but... Oh, well... Nah. Actually, you know what? Who cares? Overshoot the mark a little bit. Let's make sure we've turned in... That's what... It's fine. On behalf of the Shazenkai, Derman, I thank you for your support. You betcha. I'm pleased to inform you we've made great strides in our efforts to rebuild the Enclave. Show me. Ooh, this is looking nice. It's like a proper yard for them to hang out in now. Owing to your many contributions, Rissai-juku has seen further development. Yeah, it's like a proper, not really a playground or even really a yard, but just a proper outdoor space for them to hang out and be when not studying. Good idea. Your contributions have, as always, had a profound effect on the Enclave. Minazuki informs me that Rissai-juku now has everything it needs. All of the necessary books and writing materials have been procured, and the school itself is the perfect environment for learning. Shall we go see it for ourselves? Yes, please. While it was not my intention to eavesdrop, I could not help overhearing that you might be visiting the school. I did have a message for you, but it seems it no longer needs to be delivered. Oh my, your clothes! Come now, what's so strange about seeing a Doman man dressed in the traditional manner? Truth be told, most of us former refugees were glad for the chance to put on something more comfortable. All except the children, that is. They've grown so accustomed to their Eorzean clothing that they're reluctant to wear anything else. Far be it from me to deny them when they're so adamant. Oh, yes, that reminds me. The little ones wanted me to bring you to the school. Apparently they have something to show you. I wonder what it could be. Thank you for letting us know, Hozan. Well then, Derman, shall we adjourn? Let's go. I want to see. Come on, Quay friend. To the school. Let's see the new grounds. Wait, where are they? Oh, they're over here, I see. Looking nice. It's really coming along out here. Hey, kids. Hozan mentioned that the students have something they would like us to see. May I ask what it is? Perhaps I should let the children explain. Look, up on the wall. Ooh. Quite the classroom y'all have going now. I do regret to inform you your map's no longer up to date, but that's how it goes with maps. Miss Flamin gave it to us when we left Revenant's Toll. It's so we don't forget Eorzea and all the adventures we had there. We asked some of the grown-ups to frame it and hang it on the wall. You like it too, don't you, miss? Yes, anything that tells us about the world beyond our borders is welcome here. And it brings me great relief to know that there are those in Eorzea who would go out of their way to aid Domans like us. But surely such a large and meticulously crafted map is worth a substantial amount of gil. There must be some way we can repay your friend. Well, she said she didn't need it anymore. We still thanked her, though. Have you never seen a map like this before, miss? A lot of people have them in Revenant's Toll. Big ones, small ones, all sorts. I must admit, this is the first time I've seen one of this sort. Until recently, we had few chances to lay our eyes on anything Eorzean. We can show you all kinds of treasures. There's one for making small things look bigger, and another for reading the stars. And I've got a chocobo. A stuffed toy, anyway. They're big birds you can ride like horses. Hey, miss, do you see the big desert on the map? That's where Old Eye is, and Revenant's Toll's next to it. Maybe one day we could travel to lots of new places, like Derman. We can explore the lands under those white clouds. It sounds like I could stand to learn a few things from you, my dears. You and the other former refugees have much and more to share with the rest of Doma. Perhaps we should compile your experiences in a tome. Minazuki was not exaggerating when she told me how well the children had taken to the new Rissai-juku. It is another sign that life is returning to the way it was prior to the occupation. Even with the Empire driven from this land, we must remain vigilant to problems within and without our borders. Which reminds me, the Shazenkai has received another proposal. A number of Domans who were once conscripted into the Garlean forces have banded together to patrol the Enclave, to keep the area free from trouble. They wish to establish their own barracks by the Qian Khan. My comrades and I agree that this is indeed a worthwhile endeavor, and shall be channeling funds toward its development. Please come to the Shazenkai if you'd like to know more. I shall. Though probably not this time. We've seen quite a lot of development here in the Enclave today. The Rissai-juku is complete, and Kozakura has already begun preparations for the Enclave barracks. But we are going to have to see to that next time. Oh, congratulations, by the way, on the whole thing. I hope that these children never have to live under oppression again. Therefore, I will do everything in my power to educate them, so that they will grow up to defend the freedom that so many died for. Sounds great. Kids, study hard. I've got to end the episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will be back here in Doma to keep this progress moving later. Got some other stuff to do first. Take care until then, though, and goodbye!